Good morning. This is a City Planning Commission public meeting held at NYC City Planning Commission Hearing Room, Lower Concourse, 120 Broadway. Today is November 13, 2019. As a courtesy during the proceedings, we ask that you please turn off all cell phones and electronic devices. All speakers should fill out a speaker's card. In addition, we ask that those providing testimony please identify yourself, limit your remarks to 3 minutes, and speak clearly into the microphone. I will now call the roll. Chair Lago. Vice Chairman Knuckles.
Here.
Commissioner Burney.
Here.
Commissioner Capelli.
Here.
Commissioner Cerullo. Commissioner Delauss.
Here.
Commissioner Dweck.
Here.
Commissioner Edie.
Here.
Commissioner Knight.
Here.
Commissioner Levin.
Here.
Commissioner Marin.
Here.
Commissioner Ortiz.
Here.
Commissioner Ramchet.
Here.
A quorum is present. The first item is the approval of the minutes of the special public meeting of Monday, October 28, 2019.
I'm there.
When he's ready.
On the minutes, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The minutes are approved.
Scheduling. On calendar numbers 1 through 11, we have resolutions for adoption. Scheduling Wednesday, December 4th, 2019 for a public hearing to be held at NYC City Planning Commission Hearing Room, Lower Concourse, 120 Broadway.
On the resolutions, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The resolutions are adopted.
The next part of the calendar is the report section on page 19. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 12, CD3, N20096 RCR, in the matter of an application for the grant of a certification concerning 547 Stafford Avenue for adoption on calendar number 12. Vice Chair Knuckles.
Yes.
Commissioner Burney.
Yes.
Commissioner Capelli.
Yes.
Commissioner Delauss.
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck.
Yes.
Commissioner Edie.
Yes.
Commissioner Knight.
Yes.
Commissioner Levin. Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Commissioner Ortiz.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramchet.
Yes.
Calendar number 12 has been adopted. Borough of Staten Island, calendar number 13, CD3 N190473 RCR. In the matter of an application for the grant of a certification concerning 86 Ridgecrest Avenue for adoption on calendar number 13. Vice Chairman Knuckles.
Yes.
Commissioner Burney.
Yes.
Commissioner Capelli.
Yes.
Commissioner Delauss.
Yes.
Commissioner Dweck.
Yes.
Commissioner Edie.
Yes.
Commissioner Knight.
Yes.
Commissioner Levin.
Yes.
Commissioner Marin.
Yes.
Commissioner Ortiz.
Yes.
Commissioner Ramchet.
Yes.
Calendar number 13 has been adopted. The next part of the calendar is the public hearing section on page 20. Borough of Manhattan, calendar number 14, CD1 C190510ZSM, a public hearing in the matter of an application for the grant of a special permit concerning 105 Duane Street, Pops.
Eric Knowles is our first speaker.
Oh, awesome. All right. Good morning. My name is Eric Knowles. I'm from the firm Fox Rothschild. We're land use counsel to Tribeca Equity Partners, which is the applicant. I'm also joined by Tom Salaki, who's the landscape architect from Square Egg Studio, and he'll be available to answer questions momentarily. I'm not going to reiterate what Allison's presentation was yesterday. I pretty much did a good overview of what the proposal is, but I just want to make a few short remarks. We're seeking 2 actions with respect to a public plaza at 105 Duane Street in Tribeca. Those actions are a special permit to modify certain plaza design regulations and a chair certification that the proposed changes as modified by the special permit are in greater accordance or comply with the current plaza regulations. Just as a little background, this is an as-of-right plaza that was constructed in 1992. It's been well used, well maintained, and we think well enjoyed by the community ever since. And we know that it's an important community asset in this area because there are really no other POPs within the surrounding area. So our client is well aware and wants to maintain that stature of the space. In 2013, there were several design changes were made to the plaza, primarily around the canopied entranceway and the installation of a flue pipe and air intakes to facilitate energy upgrades to the building in certain planners. That work received DOB permits. It was done in accordance with the DOB permits, but without the chair certification for plaza design changes. So what we're currently here for is to legalize those 2013 changes, as well as making a variety of new design changes and adding several new amenities to the plaza, including movable tables and seating, new benches, new pop signage, screening of the mechanical equipment, to name a few that would bring the plaza into greater accordance with the current regulations. And the overall goal is to improve upon the positive aspects of the existing plaza while modernizing and harmoniously connecting the design aesthetic across the entire plaza and kind of give it a facelift to bring it into the 21st century. And there were two questions yesterday that I just want to address. The first having to do with the bike parking utilization and going from 16 spaces to 10 spaces. The average number of bikes at any one time is generally 4 to 5 in the plaza. So, we think moving it out to the street will actually, increase its visibility for bikers coming by, as well as hopefully its usage. The other question, I guess, issue had to do with the parking garage sign. And I just wanted to clarify what Allison said yesterday. The sign's actually getting smaller and less illuminated. The current sign is 3 feet wide and uses fluorescent bulbs with wide lettering, so it emanates a lot of light. And the proposed sign will actually be 2 feet wide, will use LED lighting and have narrower lettering, so it's more directed lighting. So if you're a pedestrian walking by, it won't kind of overwhelm you, but it'll still provide enough light for somebody coming up Duane Street to make the left and to see where the parking garage is on Trimble. So thank you.
Thank you. Questions for Mr. Knowles? Commissioner Levin.
Thank you for responding to both of those issues. I'd like to ask you about the sound attenuation for the ventilation, that issue that was raised by both the community board and the borough president. Can you tell us what further measures your client might be able to take to keep the noise down? It is, it's a pretty steady state of noise, doesn't strike me as majorly disruptive, but it's not clanging and banging, and but it is a noise.
Right.
So what can be done?
I'll have Tom Slacky, the project architect, address that.
Thank you.
Well, wait a minute before you. Are there any other questions for Mr. Knowles? Okay.
So the designs now have it so it's going to be a double-walled system around the vent. So if you were to go to the site now, you'd see kind of louvered pieces around the columns of the entrance, and that's the aesthetic that's going to be carried out throughout the plaza. However, around the open air exchange area, that's where we're going to do a double wall. So we'll actually build the sound box inside, and then outside of that, do anything that's aesthetic around it. We'll make sure that, because right now there's actually a green box around it that was put for that reason. That was kind of a temporary fix. We didn't realize this was going to take as long as it did. So the game plan is to make sure that we bring the noise attenuation down so that it's not creating any more noise than is already created around with the ambient cityscape.
So you think, just to repeat what you just said, you think that you'll be able to essentially eliminate specific sound?
Yes, exactly.
Or the perception that there is specific sound coming from that piece of equipment. Yeah. That's good. Thank you.
Other questions for Mr. Salaki?
And just as it relates to that, are you going to have you been doing testing currently of what the decibels are, and then doing that afterwards to ensure that?
We'll do the testing now and then to make sure it's insured, because we do have a room inside, thickness room, to allow it, which is why we did the double wall, so that we're not stuck with a certain footprint. We can kind of adjust as needed to make sure we meet that.
Any other questions for Mr. Salaki? Thank you.
Thank you.
There is a Jerry Johnson here to take questions. Yes.
Only if there's questions for him.
Okay. Any questions from Mr. Johnson?
I thought he was with the school visit, so.
He's with Tribeca Equity Partners. No questions for Mr. Johnson?
He teaches school.
Okay. Our next speaker will.
Hold on.
Oh, did you have a question? Okay.
Not really a
Sorry.
question. I just wanted to say, in my sort of wearing my academic hat for the benefit of our Hunter College students, that, these...
Representative.
Was that?
This isn't representative.
No. Well, it's our privately owned public spaces are often a battle. There are many owners who don't maintain them well, that even deter people from using them. And in this case, the reason these people are here is that they were a bit naughty. They went and made some changes without getting commission approval. On the other hand, it's a very well-maintained plaza. It's nicely planted and seems to serve its purpose well. So we're kind of sympathetic to their cause at this point. So that's why we're here.
Any other observations before we go to our next speaker?
I think a bit naughty sums it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, our next speaker will be Bruce Jacobs.
Where do you press it? Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Morning.
Bruce Jacobs, Coalition of the Rockaways, supporter of medical and religious freedom, fighter for the Rockaways, fighter for Southeast Queens, fighter for all New York City. I'm not the 9/11 first responder U.S. Navy veteran. I'm not the fancy speaker. You know, I'm not here with a fancy lawyer. You said naughty. Now, I could be naughty in my neighborhood and do illegal stuff. If there was something that was in the making, why was it from 2013 to this day that now they're pushing this? The thing with sound, I lived for a minute in back of a refrigerator, a buzzing sound. They're saying they're going to get rid of that sound. I don't see nothing in writing. Whoever's being affected by that, it's going to have that because there's a legal decimal, but it's still annoying. It's still a sound. Another thing, you guys, I commend you guys for the job you guys do. But sometimes the passing on to things to City Hall, that they're just going to stamp approve it. I know you're doing your job, but, you know, there's a lot of problems. Because sometimes people come with fancy lawyers and all kind of fancy stuff. You know, I'm not that, you know. And they have a little more say, it seems, because they're dressed in a suit or giving us talk, that they're telling the truth. I could go out and go buy a fancy suit and come up and speak, but my speak won't be as fancy as a lawyer speak. But I want to make sure, first of all, that that sound is taken care of. I also want to see what kind of violations were they getting before they came to this board. Because it's funny that from 2013 to 2019, which is 6 years, nothing was brought up. Like Commissioner Bernie said, yeah, they're naughty, but it looks beautiful. Hey, I could be a mafia guy and make something look beautiful too. And, you know, am I, because I'm making it look beautiful, is it okay? I just want to see things protected for the people. And I just don't like the idea that from 2013, nothing was brought up to this commission about this policy. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Mr. Jacobs? Thank you. Are there any further speakers on this item? If not, the item is closed. Madam Secretary, is there any other business before the commission today?
No, Vice Chair.
Are you certain, Madam Secretary?
Absolutely.
If not, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.